guys, it's me. I haven't done a motivational story in a while, so I thought we would try that out again. And this one I really like. We've been telling this to the class this week. So the story starts out, there's a man, he's jobless, he's looking for employment, he's getting really desperate, and he applies for a job as an office boy. Right, so he goes in, he goes through the in-person interview to be an office boy, and right after the interview there's a portion where the guy interviewing him asks him, let's say the person applying for a job's name is Steve. This works better if he has a name. His name is Steve. Let's say the interviewer asks Steve, he says, you know, your next task is to mop up the floor. You're going to prove that you can do maintenance work, I guess. And so he does it. The guy says, all right, you're hired, you've got the job, we just need to fill out some paperwork. And he turns to Steve and says, okay, what's your email? I'll send you the rest of the application. And Steve says, well, I don't have a computer, I don't have an email. And the man interviewing him says, well, if you don't have an email, you don't exist. And if you don't exist, you can't have this job. And so Steve is really upset. He is just totally downtrodden, goes out into the street, and he's just kind of walking around, like looking at the ground, moping for a while. And he walks into a grocery store and he has an idea. He has $10 left to his name. $10 in his pocket, that's all that he has. He decides to buy 10 pounds of tomatoes with them. Very cheap tomatoes, apparently. Anyways, he buys 10 pounds of tomatoes, and he goes door to door and sells his tomatoes, and he doubles his money, he makes 20 bucks. And so he does that 2 more times that day, and he triples his money. Well, he doubles it 2 more times, so he more than triples it. Anyways, he sells his tomatoes door to door, he doubles and triples his money throughout the day. And he's like, actually, this could work. So he goes back and does it again the next day, he does it again the next day, and for a few more months, he continues to double and triple his money every day. And 5 years later, he has a fleet of trucks, he is one of the largest regional produce retailers, he's got tons of employees, and he finally feels like he's in a stable spot. He's like, okay, now I'm ready to think about my family's future. And so he goes to buy life insurance, and he goes through the process with a life insurance guy on the phone. He answers a bunch of questions, and at the end of it, the life insurance guy says, okay, just a little more paperwork, why don't you give me your email, and I'll pass that on to you. And Steve says, well, I don't have an email. And the life insurance man pauses for a long while, and he says, do you mind if I ask, how did you get to be so successful without an email? Don't you ever wonder what you could have done, with all that you've done without one? Don't you ever wonder what you could have done if you had an email? And Steve says right away, yeah, I know what I could have done. I could have been an office boy. And I like this story. I like this story because it brings to light something that I think we don't think about a lot, right? Which is that there aren't, we have rules for life. We think we have rules. We certainly make up rules for ourselves. We make up rules for the people around us. They make up rules for us. But those are arbitrary. Those don't really exist. It's kind of one of those things that doesn't really occur to you sometimes until it happens, right? But I think this is something that comes up all the time in fitness. All the time I talk to people and they say, I would love to get fit, but I can't train doubles every day, 6 days a week, which is not a real rule. I didn't make that rule. I don't know who made that rule. Or people say, I would love to lose weight, but I love carbs. And as you guys will know if you've watched any of my videos, I too love carbs, and I eat them all the time. And it's not a rule at all about fitness that you can't have carbs. There are a lot of things sometimes where our story only comes to light when we start to tell it to someone else. And so I just wanted to throw that out there as a mindset of the day. The other thing that this makes me think of, and I may have mentioned this before, but I think about it a lot. There's a country song. I don't know what it's called, I don't know who it's by, but I think it's called something like Unanswered Prayers, right? And the guy's talking about all the things he really wished would happen in life that didn't pan out, and that was actually a good thing. And that's the other thing this story makes me think of, is I had a lot of jobs that I applied for that I was crushed when I did not get. Friends can testify that I have a file on my computer that is full of over 80 cover letters that I wrote during my first few years after college when I was trying to break into a different industry than the one I'm in now. And luckily, most of those cover letters never got a reply, which is great because had they done that, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now, which I really love and would not even have thought was a life that was possible for me a few years ago. And so I just want to throw that out there. The other thing that I wanted to use this opportunity for is to let you guys know that our anniversary party for Bold and Badass Fitness is coming up this month. It is about 2 weeks from today. It is Saturday the 22nd. We're going to start with a workout at 5 p.m. That will be a fundraiser. We will announce who for in the next few days, so stay tuned. There'll be a workout at 5 p.m. and if you don't want to work out with us, you're welcome to come by after the workout and hang out for some food and drinks. We're going to play some games, some not workout but kind of fitness themed games that'll be really fun. This event is open to everybody, so feel free to bring your friends, family, coworkers, people you like to punish with fitness. Haha, kidding. Reward with fitness. But in any case, it should be a really great event. I hope you guys can make it. That's Saturday the 22nd. I'll post a link for it below. But yeah, there's your motivation for Motivation Monday. As always, drop me a comment or message me if there are things in particular that you want to hear about, because otherwise I'll just tell you about all the things I want to talk about. And there's a lot that I want to talk about, so help me add to the list. Anyways, have a great Monday, guys. Take care.